Okay, we're going to restring this Floyd Rose Strat. I'm a big Floyd Rose fan, even though I don't use it that often. And if anybody tells you that Floyd Roses are difficult to set up or they're inconsistent, it means they haven't been set up properly. The Floyd Rose is really a lot better than any normal tremolo system out. So anything with a knife edge system that's a copy of the Floyd Rose is a good thing. And before you get restringing as well, make sure you've got an Allen key. One of these, you're going to need to unlock these nuts at the top here. You can see I've already taken off some strings. And at the back over here as well, you're also going to need your Allen key to go inside here to tune or to actually release those to take out the strings as well. These are your fine tuners, but we'll explain it as we go through the process of restringing this. Well, you can see the strings are off now. I've got some snacks in the standby, the strings in the background, some ambience, and you can probably hear the Simpsons in the background as well. For cleaning the neck, yes, there are some really cool products dedicated for it, but what works really well as well is a really good furniture multi-surface spray. It really does a really amazing job, and that with a normal cloth, and I'll be back shortly. You can see a whole new world. Neck is looking a lot better. Like I said, it doesn't have to be very expensive dedicated products. Most multi-surface cleaners do a stunning job. You can see the wood's looking really, really good. All the dust is gone between the pickups. And a nice shiny Floyd Rose style bridge at the back. Going to start the restring next. Now I'd like to notice over here that the little brass ball at the end of the string, I'm not cutting them off like some people do when they restring Floyd Roses. There you can see the string's already through and the string's going across the bridge. Now there's a very good reason for that. This actually makes a nice little stop. So once the string's actually on, if you break a string one day, heaven forbid, and you had a gig and you need to restring or get back into performing, this can't slide, which means that a restring will be very, very easy. All you do is simply go down to the bottom part over here. You loosen this part over here where your string goes in. There you can see the string's going to go into the block. You pull it back a little bit, and boom. Normally it works depending, of course, where the break is, but I'll explain it in more detail later too. Right now, suggestion again, don't cut this off. It's going to help you later. Getting ready to cut. I'm sure some guys might like it a bit longer, some a bit shorter. My personal preference, I take it to the length of the end of the Floyd Rose. So you can see that's where the cutters are. That's where I'm going to do the snip, and then I'll show you how to put it in the block. Well, the string is now cut. I'm going to put it into that small little black block in front of it over here. You can see it nice and carefully. Put it down as far as possible. Make sure it's nice and inserted. And once you've got that, you take the said tremolo, Allen key, put it into the tremolo there. I really should have done better lighting, I guess, eh? And there we're tightening it. When you tighten it as well, please don't over tighten it. So make sure you can feel that it's getting a bit of a bite, which might not be a very good technical term, but you can feel the tremolo and the Allen key is sort of locking in. Don't over tension it because you will strip the screw. Next, up to the neck again, and we're going to start tightening by the tuners. Peg winders on. Now we're going to wind the string. Simply get one of these, saves a lot of hours, and you just turn like that. Now, if you look up close over here, you'll see there's quite a few windings around here. I'm going to try and get more focus over here. There we go, you can see it goes around about 2 or 3 times. And as we mentioned as well, that if you break a string during a gig, it normally breaks over here because that's where the tension is. As it comes out the block over here, that's where it normally snaps. So if your string snaps there, all you do is you go to the top. You can see my lock over here is taken out for the timing, easy for string, one of those. I loosen this, I unwind this by 1.5 turns or so, whatever's needed, and the string will automatically be long enough to reinsert there. And I've actually done a gig before where at the beginning of the solo I broke the string, and literally within 10 to 15 seconds the job was done and I was able to actually finish off the same song. So that's why I like using the brass nuts at the top. If I didn't have this over here and cut it and I loosened it over here, the string would simply slip out. If you're not sure what I'm trying to say, drop me a WhatsApp and I'll happily explain it to you. And off to put some more strings on. I thought this might actually help a bit. It sort of gives you an idea what your string should look like once you've done that cut off over here at the end of the bridge, to give you an idea of the height that you're going to look at. Just some sort of background on the tremolo from the Floyd Rose as well. You'll notice there's a screw there and there's a screw there. Sometimes they're Allen keys, but that adjusts the height. So if you need your tremolo to be slightly higher because you want your string height a bit higher over here by the neck, you want to raise the action, then this screw and that screw will either raise or lower your tremolo. But as a suggestion, if you're not sure, rather get a guitar tech to do it for you. Once the Floyd Rose is set up, it is superior to the normal, typical sort of tremolos that they use on Strat styles. The reason for that being is that once your strings are through this over here, oh, that's my jelly beans, snack time, sorry. Okay, once your strings are through over here, they're actually locked in place. So when you're using the tremolo, the string can't slide. That means your string can't give you any tuning issues. And that means this part over here can't tune anymore, but that's not an issue. The bottom line is over here is that if this is fixed, this can't slide, there's no friction over here, no slide here. So all the sort of ingredients that result in the tremolo going out of tune, especially if you're into your 80s hard rock and you really want to do a Steve Vai or a Joe Satriani in your tremolo arm, you need a Floyd Rose. If you're into sort of more subtle vibratos, like, so for example, Hank Marvin Shadow style, or just a gentle vibrato, then the normal ones work really extremely well. But if you want to get heavy-handed, these are the ones that work the best. And yeah, one more time, that's your length over here. You set your intonation over here, but that's again also a study for another video. And we mentioned at the top as well that you got those little lock systems. This is where you do your fine tuning. So what we're saying over here, once your guitar's got all 6 strings on, once the 6 strings are in place, you lock them. There's the other nut still going to go on. You lock these, so there's no travel over here, and then you do your fine tuning down here. These are your fine tuning screws over here. Now, Ibanez has brought us some really high-tech sort of tuning systems as well. So read the manuals if you have one of those. But the concept for restringing it is still the same. Let's put some more strings on. You can see the strings are all on now, and I've changed from 9 gauge to 10 gauge, which means it's slightly more tension. And you can see the tremolo here, I'm going to point at it now, has lifted up a bit. It should be parallel to the body. This is what I'm talking about with setting up your tremolo. If it's like this, it's too high, and obviously it can go too low as well. So I'm going to now remove the screws behind. So I'm going to open up that part, and I'll show you when it's open what I'm going to do. Screws are out, and we open the back, and this is what we're looking for. Now over there are 2 screws that adjusts the tension, pulling the tremolo back. So when I turn these screws in, I put more tension on this, which in turn then will bring the tremolo over here in that direction. So it'll move it like this. Difficult showing this with only one hand and holding a cell phone. And those are going to be the screws we adjust. So take the screwdriver, put him inside there, and we do some tuning. Okay, we restrung, lock nuts are tensioned, next looking nice and clean, tremolo arm is in. Yes, it's a black tremolo. I bought the guitar second hand, and the original owner lost the chrome on. I don't know how people do that, but it seems that keeping track of tremolo arms is easier said than done. Now, here's the cool thing about this. You can hear the guitar sounds good. Now, what's what I'm going to do with the tremolo arm? This is what you can't do with the normal standards. You can see the strings are actually physically loose. When I put it back to normal, it's still in tune. Now, try that with a normal tremolo arm, and I'll be very impressed if your guitar is even remotely in tune. That's the advantage. It's locked there, no travel from the string, and your string can't unwind the tuner. That's why this works. And the reason why this is accurate is because it works on a spring system. Remember, the springs are steady from behind the guitar, and the whole system rests on 2 nuts over here, which is what the system moves around on. That's why once your tremolo is set up with the Floyd Rose, it won't go out of tune. If you're having hassles with it, it means it's not set up properly in the first place, or possibly your springs might need replacing. So if you're having difficulty, take it to a guitar techie, he'll sort it out for you. Trust me, once these things are set up properly, your guitar will stay in tune literally for weeks at a time. I've sort of had to do minor tunings on the rare occasion, maybe every week or two when I'm using Floyd Roses. So as much as I love all my other Strats, the tremolo system over here, when I want to do the very heavy bombs and stuff like that, much more reliable. So if anybody disses a Floyd Rose, it means it hasn't been set up. Yes, it does take a bit of coffee. There's my proof. Okay. And if it's good enough for Ritchie Sambora, as you can see, there's his signature at the top. If it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me too. Hope you enjoyed. I'm going to do some videos which I'm going to post to my YouTube channel with the tremolo arm as well, just for the fun of it later. So feel free to follow me at Ian Fisser. And have an awesome guitar music filled day. Take care. Bye.